All right. Welcome, everybody, to another Monday night Jennifer and Ann call. Tonight, we're going to talk about why. Why should we have a why in our business and what the importance of having a why can do for our businesses. But first, let's chat about the 200 PRV that is needed for the year, because I know there's a bunch of people up for terminations. So if you have not placed an order in the last year of $200 or more in 1 month, you will have a little check mark by your name. And if you can put your $200 in PRV this month, US, that's region 1, then you can stay a consultant for another year. So pretty sweet. If you have a downline, you need to be doing that 200 every 4 months. So to be able to keep your downline and to be able to keep everyone that's in your team or group, you do need to do that every 4 months. So to stay a consultant, it's every year. To stay a leader, it's every 4 months. So if you guys have people in your downlines, check those check marks, because a lot of people don't even know that they're still consultants, I feel like, just because of the pandemic, and they held on for so long. So connect with those people in the next 2 or 3 days so that they have some time to get their orders in, get some orders.
Now is the perfect time to do that too, because you can just encourage them to get an order in this month so that they can order the new stuff starting February 1st too. Even if sometimes, like Ian said, people just don't even realize that they're still a consultant. And then once you remind them and they're like, oh, I didn't even know I was still in, it can encourage that last minute, oh, maybe I'll give it a try again.
Right.
So,
and then too, you're like, oh, maybe, not this catalog, I didn't push it very hard, but the next catalog is it's so good. Those warmers, oh my gosh. How can they just keep going with cool warmers?
I know.
What do you do with all your old warmers? When you get new ones? Oh, I want to just get rid of all of my old ones. We'll see. Time to work my business. How'd the Valentine's lunch go for everybody? I was in and out. Well, not in and out, but I got what I needed. Did everyone else get what they needed for the lunch?
I figured I was going to get the sales kits, and then I was actually talking to Rose and I realized that it was after 12, and I was like, oh, boo. And so I went and got on, and I had a 40-some minute wait.
Whoa.
So I just was like, I'll just order them on the 1st. So.
Right. Yeah, they went fast.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, my wait was only 12 minutes, and then it went from 12 to 9 to 3 to 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me because with those kits, and then with the Valentine's, all the LTO stuff, it's a rat race for us to be able to get stuff now. It's so crazy.
But is the stuff still available? I don't think it's sold out yet, has it?
Yeah. What wasn't?
It hasn't sold out.
I think there was the little.
The only thing I saw that sold out was the magenta glitter warmer. That was the only thing that I saw was sold out so far, which is pretty awesome, figuring all the other great stuff that came with everything.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
I didn't sell much of the Valentine's Day stuff. Did you?
I had one customer that wanted.
I posted on my VIP page, and several people were like, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah.
And then everybody committed, and so I'm like,
I never sell any of like the pre-order stuff. And then today she wanted 3 things and I was like, ah, yes, come on. And then I was like nervous that I wasn't going to get it, but I ended up getting all of the items I needed.
Yeah.
And like the Sleepy collection, like that's still available. Like that's surprising.
Yeah. I know, you just never know.
No. Nope, you don't. All right, let's talk about whys. I have a book club that we meet the other Monday nights and within my group. And we have this, it's upstairs. I thought it was, my book was down here, but it's upstairs. It's called Goal Digger is the name of the book. And it is from another direct sales entrepreneur, right? Like I think she's in oils, some part. It doesn't say the company or anything, but I'm pretty sure she's in oils. That might be a different book. I don't know. I'm getting them all confused. But anyways, she has this, it's a very easy read. And it's a quick little, like a workbook more than like an actual book. But she gives you good examples, but then she gives you like great things to finish and to do for your business. The first chapter was your why, and saying, like, why do we need a why? You need a why to drive you to where you want to go. I think of it as a roadmap, like where do we want this business to be? What are we wanting to get out of our business? If we don't have a definite why, then sometimes you might not get anywhere within your business. I feel like the more people that have a set, solid why that they talk about, that they share, that they look at, over and over, I feel like they are getting to where they want to be within their business. And maybe some that don't have a why, don't even think about it, maybe have a harder time of getting their business really solid and really going. So I think it's such an important activity. And Jennifer and I were talking, like we did the vision boards last time, and it kind of goes hand in hand, right? Like we want to be able to visualize what we want out of our business, but we need to have a definite why we are doing this. Why am I making samples? Why am I doing follow-up calls? Why am I hopping on a Monday night call? Why am I doing all of these things, right? If we can put that all together with your vision board and your why to have a definite solid base, like your stepping stone of where you're going to launch your business, is so important. So I would really encourage every single one of us to sit down, to actually take the time, because it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I'll do that later. Do it before the month is over. I challenged my girls in the Shine Tribe, the book club, to do it by today. Today was their deadline to get it done. And that's kind of, this author says, like, she gives you a timeline and she's like, you need to have it done, and then hold yourself accountable, or maybe connect with someone else and say like, hey, let's write our whys and let's do it within the next week. Let's come up with them and share with each other what they are. So last week we shared our whys, and a little bit this week we kind of shared our whys too on Facebook, but it's so cool to see how everyone looks at their business maybe a little bit different. But a lot of it has the same theme. Like we all want to be like successful, and we all want to like help each other and help other women or men in their business to get to where they want to go. So it's really cool. But also looking at it and thinking, like, if you can see what other people are doing as their why, it made mine stronger because I went and I dialed in just a little bit more, because it was like, oh, okay, yes, I do want to be able to travel and this and that. But then that was kind of my why, was travel, give more to my kids, be able to have a lifestyle that we don't have to be so tightly bound to home. And then it was like, well, why do I want to travel? I want to give my kids experiences that will last them a lifetime, you know? I want to be able to have my kids be able to say that, they've traveled and that and meeting other people. Like, I think that is probably one of the biggest things for my kids. And Harlow and I were just talking about this on our little adventure tonight. It's 80s day at school tomorrow, so we had to go get some 80s attire for a 7-year-old, which is not really popular. So it was quite comical. But we were talking about the people that she met on our last trip, and I'm like, you would have never met that sweet little girl that was so kind to you, and she was like, yeah, she was letting me play with her new Christmas gifts, and like, just like showing your kids that, no matter where you live, you can be kind to each other, you can be caring for each other, and now she's got this little 5-year-old friend in Arizona, and she's just like, I just want to go see her again. Well, when am I going to see her again? Like, how great for those kids to have relationships at those ages, and their friends are all over the US, not just in their little city. So it really kind of made me think more about my why. A lot of times you'll hear people say, like, your why should make you cry, and if it doesn't, then it's not deep enough. um, and I think that sets kind of a level for everybody. Like, everyone is different, and every why, and every person, every why is going to be different. But if you can't get down deep enough for it to have some type of emotion, whether it's an emotion of crying, like because you're so excited, you're so happy, you're so like just ecstatic that you want to get your business going, or it brings you to tears because you can't even imagine what your life could be like if you had those things. If it makes you uncomfortable or nervous, I think that's a really good like where you should start for your why, because you do need to be uncomfortable to be able to grow. I think for a lot of years I was just like, oh, yep, this is my why. My kids are my why. Yeah, my kids. Yep, I get to stay home with them. Like, it wasn't doing anything. It, like, yes, that was a great why, that I'm doing this business so that I can give more to my kids and my family and be able to stay home. But it wasn't earth shaking. It wasn't like to my core, like, oh my gosh, this makes me sick to my stomach. I could puke because this is what could happen, right? Like, you almost have to have it so that you get so nervous or so excited or some type of emotion behind it. Because if it's just, it is what it is, yep, that's cool, then that's how your business will be. Jennifer, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, okay. I had my thing muted because Becca. Okay, listen, mommy's on a call. Becca is talking up a storm in my office.
We love Becca.
So just like listening to Anne talk about how like her kids were her why from a very from day one in my Scentsy business, like I knew that my why was going to be to support my family. My husband just worked at our church and sold furniture on eBay on the side, and we seriously like lived paycheck to paycheck. And when I went to convention that first year, like, and saw these other women and what they were doing with their businesses and heard like other people talk about their whys, it just was super inspiring to me. And earlier, like when Ian and I, we were talking just about different things, like I went to Google and like looked up about your why, and it says that your why is the reason that you do things you do, maybe for your family, to prove something to someone else or yourself. Your passion or purpose is your mission in life. It might be your work, your contribution to others, your art or creations. And so for me, like my family definitely is my why. I think another part of my why is to like I homeschooled my kids during like over the years. Now I send my kids to private schools, so I'm able, like I was able to be at home with them and work from home. And then now, like even though things have changed in my life, it's still like my why. And now I'm like, I'm sending my kids to private school, which I never would have been able to afford to do before. And so like I think Anne was saying how like we need to like revisit that, and our why can change throughout time. Like Trent and I've earned every incentive trip that Scentssy's offered, and so like traveling has become like a huge part of my business and thing. That's not like my total. It's not everything of why I do Scentsy, because a lot of people just do Scentsy just to earn fun trips. That's not I love all the trips and I love being able to travel, but that's not, it's not why I do Scentsy. Relationships, like you can take it down to so many different, like some people just join to make friends and to make connections with other people. So this other thing I thought was really cool. It says, what is your why in life? Your why is a statement of purpose that describes why you do the work you do and why you live the lifestyle you do. It is your calling. It is your conviction. It is your mission statement. It is a vision of your life and work. So like your why doesn't just have to be Scentsy related. It can be just like your life why, like talking about like your calling and your convictions. And I really loved that it's your mission statement. Like, how cool is that, just to be able to write your own mission statement for life? And so like as I was thinking earlier today about my why again and like revisiting that, like I was just thinking about how cool it would be to write my own mission statement based on my why. And so I'm actually reading a book right now, and it's called The Elimination of Hurry. And I'm like absolutely in love with the book. I'm over halfway done with it right now. And it is a faith-based book. So if you like to read something like that, this book, I'm like recommending it to all of my friends. Like I've been private messaging so many people like, you need to read this. You need to read this, because just like talking about your convictions. And I think like, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when people ask me like how we're doing, I will just be like, oh, staying busy, And like, I don't want that to be, like to rule me. And so I think that there's a lot to like really like refocusing and recentering on doing the important things in life. And I think I might have left my book in the other room too, but I'll just tell. There was a page earlier that I had marked some stuff in, and it was talking about like a trellis, and how a trellis, when you stand a trellis up, like your vines will like go up the trellis, and it's like the support for your trellis, and then or for your vines. And so it was talking about just like our life, and how we have to have, like, whether you like make it your calendar or whatever, scheduling things, and like you have to have a support for those things in your life. So I was just thinking about relating it to our why, and all those different things that it has to have a backbone. All those why things, all the things that, could pertain to our why, they have to have like a solid backbone to support all of those things. And so whatever that might be in your life, to kind of hold those things together. I thought that was like kind of a cool analogy, just with what we were talking about tonight. So I would just encourage you guys to like sit and think about it. I know sometimes we can just be like kind of ho-hum and mundane about what our why is, but like, is it big enough to like set off those emotions within us? And that's what our why should do. So do you guys have anything to share? Anybody like have any great?
And I think if you have trouble starting your why, we had to, in that book that we were reading, we had to list 10 to 30 things that we wanted you'd like to have, be, or do, and write them down in your journal. So if it was just like a dump, like what do you really want? Like, is it financial freedom? Is it tangible things? Is it time? Is it more time with your family? You know, like what is it? Because then that kind of would lead you to where you should have your why. Like obviously you don't want your why to be I want to stay home with my kids, and then you want girl time and like travel and you know like you know it doesn't really, yes you can have some of it, but that doesn't really you know speak all, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, so kind of you know like, and then setting a goal, like setting the clear goals for you know looking at your why, and how can you start some goals by looking at your why. So if your why is to be able to stay home with your family, then what are some goals to be able to get you there? So I mean your why is so important because it, like Jennifer said, it is that stability of having that trellis so that everything can grow up onto it, right? So your trellis is your why, and having that be your solid foundation for your business, for your finances, for your personal life, for your friend's life, for your faith, for whatever you want it to be. I love, Jennifer, when you said that statement of purpose. Like that's huge. Like that's powerful, right? Like it's not just your why, but it's your statement of your purpose of why you're doing this business. Um,
Well, so many of us struggle with that. Like, especially moms, like, what's our purpose in life? You know, like, what's God's calling in my life? You know, why am I here? What am I like? What am I here for? Who am I going to reach? Like, that's another thing too. Like, our why can be like self-reflected, but it can also be like that you want to help others too. So I know that in a business like this, like you can have a lot of connections and that networking of people that you just have relationship with. And so that can create a sense of why, you know, like with other people, you know, because I know that in my Scentsy business, like I've had some amazing relationships and friendships that I've built. And sometimes I'm like, if nothing else, like in my Scentsy, like I know that it's provided for our family for almost 13 years. Like then also those relationships, like I would never have met Anne if it wasn't for Scentsy. And so even though like friendships are another part of my why to relationships. So
you know, like I can think of two people in the Shine Tribe. One kind of started Scentsy for her other job, right? Like so she didn't join Scentsy because she wanted to stay home, or she wants to like she has a full-time job, and she joined Scentsy so she could get more comfortable talking in front of people, having more relationships, like building her self-esteem, or you know self up to be able to be a stronger employee at her full-time job. Like that's just different, right? Like not everyone joins because of the reason that I join, and my why is so different than hers. And another why, like I'm sharing these because I think sometimes like you're like, oh, I don't have my why, like I must not know what I'm doing. Well, no, because that's not the case. But sometimes you just have to figure out like or hear other people's experiences about why they're doing Scentsy. You know, it's not just to stay home or to quit your job or to, you know, get your husband home. Or, I mean, like Jennifer said, it could be the people. You could totally want to be a coach, right? Like, or to mentor or to connect. Like, I love connecting people. Like, okay, so my friend Mandy just the other day sent me this lady that needs to know some mom groups she just moved into our town. And so she had me connect her with a bunch of people that I know, like I love doing that. So, and I see that with Scentsy, like I can connect you to a favorite scent or to a really cool warmer. Like I'm just a connector. But looking at your why, I don't know where I was going to go with the second example. I went kind of off tangent. No, I don't know. Whatever. But just know that if you're struggling with your why, it might come a little later. But just start with something to get it down on paper and to look at it and to think about it and to talk about it. Talking about your why on social media is a great way to sponsor. A fabulous, fabulous, fabulous way to let people know why you do it. You might be like, hey, I love to do XYZ. I'm doing Scentsy because of this. It just makes you more authentic. It opens up a different door than I just do Scentsy because I want to make money. Well, that's great. But what are you going to do with your money? Like, are you going to travel? Are you going to donate it? Are you going to give it to charity? Are you going to start a nonprofit? Are you going to, like, there's so much things that you could do with your business, right? You're going to give it to the church, like whatever it is, talk about it. Like you will find people will trust you more. They will, people want to know that kind of information. So it's a great way to sponsor by talking about your why. I would encourage you guys to at least once a month talk about your why on your business page or in your VIP group or go live on your own page, and share. Like, it's scary. Heck yeah. And a lot, like obviously use the income disclosure if you have to, but maybe you don't even have to, like snap a picture and just say, this is my why. And maybe it's a picture of you taking your kids off the bus or getting your kids off the bus or bringing them to school or just whatever makes it so that a picture of your actual why, and just share that. I think it just makes it so much more relatable.
I was just reading something about that, like your why should spark joy, like that Marie Kondo or whatever her name is. So, like, your why should spark joy, and if it doesn't, you get rid of it and you figure out what your why is and what sparks joy within you. And so, I also read something that says whys give you hope. They give you something to look forward to. Maybe everything kind of really sucks right now, or maybe everything really sucks right now, but your why can be a candle in the dark room. So I thought that was cool. Something that Anne just mentioned too that kind of sparked an idea in my head was that just goes back to us always telling you guys that our stories are super important. And I got a text from Ruthie Craig, who's one of my directors out in the Washington, D.C. area. And it was last night or the night before. She's been under the weather. She had surgery. And so she's been really focusing on taking care. I checked on her the other day and I was like, how are you doing? And she was like, I'm laid up on the couch with all these pill bottles next to me. I was like, you just take care of yourself. But she's invested in her business. And so she has her story on her website. And it was a friend of hers, girlfriend, who lives in Australia. She lives in Queensland, Australia, contacted her and ordered from her. And so she was like, I guess, I don't know if she went to Scentsy.com or no, it was through Facebook because she said that they were friends. Anyway, she went to her website and read her story and like really connected with her. And so she mentioned Ruthie's story and how she had it written. And so I just thought too that that's like another good place for us to put our why and just to express to people, because when people connect with us, in that way, like that just is another avenue for us to build our teams, to build relationships, all of that. So make sure that you guys have your story on your website.
Because we're not just sales business, like we're direct sales, but we are like complete direct relationships. Like it is so important that we build those relationships. So yes, and even if you've had your story on your website for a while, like I have the oldest picture in the entire. Like, Harris is like 6 months old, and he'll be 5 in March. Probably should change that. Like super outdated, but like change that stuff up, like you don't have to keep it forever. Make it short, make it sweet. Like if you have trouble like writing like me, like I am terrible, have someone else help you. Find someone on your team that's super good with writing, or someone else, reach out, put it on Facebook. Who can help me, write a little story about myself, or, like
That's a good idea.
use someone else, get it out there, right? Because if no one's going to help you, then nothing's going to happen. It's not like your birthday's going to get taken away. So I encourage you all to write your why, put it on your website, share about it.
Even if you want it to like look like a mission statement, I think that idea is super cool to like make your why into your own little mission statement. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. I think that's all we kind of had, wasn't it?
Yep. Does anybody have anything that they want to add? Anyone?
Bueller.
I'll add something. Yeah, like I posted on Facebook, I think it was last week or the week before. I had gotten my first paycheck from Scentsy, and it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was able to order my shooting star kit, which I'm still waiting for it to ship. I can't wait to get it. I'm so excited. But I was also able to go and get a stroller and a car seat for my kids, because I've got a 2-year-old son, and then I'm pregnant with a little girl who's due in April. And that was just such a big thing for me, that like I was able to have that extra money. And with what I had left over from getting my shooting star kit, like it covered almost the whole cost of getting a double stroller and a car seat and a base. And I made sure to share that on my Facebook wall, but I made sure to say, like, yeah, the money helps, but that's not the reason that I joined. Like, I joined because I felt like there was something missing in my life. And I've kind of found that through Scentsy. Like, I've met so many new people already, and I just joined in December, and it's changed my life so much already that I just, like, I'm really happy to have all of these new people in my life, and I've never met them in person. I've only met them on Facebook, but they're so encouraging, and they're just always there in my corner cheering me on. And like, I love looking at the different sites that we have, or like the groups that we have, and seeing these ideas and tips and tricks and stuff to like get your name out there and get your flyers and or the uh oh my gosh, like the calendar, like the books and stuff. And it's just amazing. Like I really enjoy this company so far, and it honestly feels more like a family, because it's helped me get out of my comfort zone, and I've met new people, and I just feel like it's brought some like peace in my life. So like, I'm a single mom, and I go to work and come home, and that's like all I do. So I felt like there was something missing in my life, and now that I've got Scentsy, like it's helped so much that like I'm not leaving my apartment too much, but I've actually got other people that I can talk to and carry on a conversation with other than just my 2-year-old toddler who only wants to watch Bubble Guppies. And so, yeah, like that's one thing that I'd like to add. So,
Awesome. Well, you're rocking it. So you just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. It's been fun to watch you just go through the rough. It's been awesome.
well,
That,
thank you.
thanks for sharing that because that's inspiring to me. Like even after 13 years of Scentsy, like just to hear stories like yours is super fun to me because like sometimes when you've been around for a long time, you can just be like in the spunk or get in a rut and just feel like, you know, like
Yeah.
are we really making an impact on other people? You know, like I have chills, just like I'm almost ready to get emotional about it because it like because we do like it is a relationship. It's a relationship business and it's not just about the money. And so just you like sharing that, you know, you have all these women that you can go to and Scentsy really, really is just like it's amazing at how we can just create those bonds and those relationships super fast. So, and I
Yeah.
can say this, but I don't know if you've been on a call before, but I have 8 children.
Oh
So
my goodness.
pregnant mamas are always dear and near and dear to my heart. So mamas, little ones and pregnant mamas, I love it. So I know when people say they're pregnant and they're on my team, I'm just like, oh, I just love this.
Because
So
you've been pregnant like almost your whole existence. Scentsy.
I've had 3 babies since I've been with Scentsy, and before that, we already had 5. And then I had a miscarriage too since I've been with Scentsy. But like just it like it's been Scentsy's been such a blessing, and it's such a like family oriented company, and
Yeah.
like it's super family oriented and very like kid friendly. So
Hmm.
that's always been a huge thing that I think that we really have going for us. Like Orville and Heidi, our owners, are like, you get Orville with a baby and he's just like loving that baby to pieces. And it's so sweet. Like just to know like how authentic our owners are and how like even they are super relational and like you know those of us who've been around a long time like we have legit relationships with the owners and so
Hmm.
I just feel like just telling you that you know don't give up, keep going, because when you have that outlook that you do, like I can already tell that you have qualities to do big things with Scentsy, so keep.
Yeah, like I used to be a distributor for Unique,
Oh
and
yeah.
I had such a hard time getting into it, and like people just like said they were willing to help and everything, but they weren't really like giving a lot of tips or anything, and I just didn't really feel like I could reach out. And that was when my son was really little. I ended up being a stay-at-home mom, and um his father brought in the money all the time, and I was just stuck at home with him, and it was really hard. But like now this time around, like I'm a single mom. I've got one kid, another on the way. Um and like I've just really been like, I really enjoy this stuff. I really want to make it work, and just thinking about like all of the possibilities that come with this family. And it's just so much easier to reach out to people and be like, well, hey, like this is the stuff that I like. Like I don't even always post on Facebook like, hey, check this out, like go to my link and look at this. Like, oh, excuse me. Had pizza for supper and I'm burping it up. But like the fragrance flowers, I love those. Those are one of my favorite things. They're so pretty. you can design them and color them however you want. Like I have one up on my TV stand, or the shelf above my TV stand, and I've posted pictures about that, like just like, hey, look what I did tonight. Like this was so much fun and it's so pretty. I love how I can design it myself and just color it, and it's super simple. And then I took a picture of what it looked like after I colored it, and then I took a picture of it the next day, and then a few days later, and then like a week later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe that this little flower, like look at what the oils do to the colors. Like it mixes it, it makes it look really pretty. I've had so many people comment on those pictures, like, how did you do this? What did you use? Like, where do you get those? Do you sell them? And I private messaged them and I'm like, hey, you know, like, thanks for being interested in this. This is what I did. If you're willing to check it out or like look for more information on it, I can send you my link. And then if they say yes, then I send it to them and I have it set to go straight to that product. So that way they're not having to look around and find it and everything. But like, I have one lady that I'm talking to tonight who has been like contemplating it for a week now, wanting to get one, and she's finally ready to get one. So, and I just send her messages once in a while, like, hey, you know, like, have you figured out which scent you want? Like, these are the ones that I really like. I'm not sure what you're into, but this one is really light and it's not overpowering. And she said she wants to try the Amazon Rain one. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's one of my favorite scents. So it's just nice to be able to post like just random stuff that you like, and then people are interested in it. Like you're not really going out to sell the product. You're just saying what you like about it, and then it sells itself. So that's a really nice thing about it.
Yeah,
I have
since
a long rant.
no, you're right. Like it's so I was thinking that when you were talking, how just like putting Scentsy out there, it does sell itself. Like
Mhm.
you're sharing it. And as long as you're sharing it, that's what it takes. Like
Yeah.
and come to us all the time and like, like how do I do this? I can't sell. And I'm like, are you asking? Are you sharing? Like, because that's really all we have to do is Scentsy. You're not like trying to convince somebody that they need the product, like
Yeah.
some companies and some products you feel like that you're trying to convince people that you need this like for your well-being, and we don't have
Mhm.
to do that with Scentsy. So yeah.
Yeah, like I have bought so many Scentsy buddies for my son, and then I bought one for my daughter, and then I got her one of those little Scentsy friends. And like I was lucky enough to get one of the Spen ones for my son. His name is Ben. And oh my gosh, I love him. Like I want to take him for myself because he's so cute. But
So
I post him on Facebook and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ben loves his Scentsy buddies. And like my son loves Mickey Mouse. So I got him a Mickey Mouse one. I got him a Pluto one. And he has the Sven. And like he just loves them so much. And I love that they smell so good. So I just post about those and I'm like, Ben loves his Mickey Mouse Scentsy buddy. Like he's so cute. And like people comment on it or like it or whatever, and it's like I don't care if they're asking about like how much it costs or whatever. Like I'm getting it out there and that's what matters. Like
right.
I don't always have to push it. I just talk about how much I love it, and eventually it's gonna just sell itself. So
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
Nicole's due in May with her baby number 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw that. Congratulations.
hey,
So
she's
many babies.
expecting 2, aren't you? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I was trying to unmute myself. Yeah, I'm expecting my third one. I'm due in August.
August.
No, literally on January 1st. So happy New Year's.
Oh, that's cool. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
Cole, do you know what you're having?
We're hoping for a little girl. We're praying for a little girl because this is most likely going to be my last one. I've been so sick and nauseous. I can't do it anymore. Bless your heart, Jennifer, for being able to do 8. Like, oh, I couldn't imagine.
Well, I didn't ever get really sick. Like I would maybe get nauseous for a few months, like at the beginning, but I never threw up from being like
Yeah.
I don't get like that, but
I got sick. Like, I've just been really nauseous with this one. Like, it's to the point where I can't leave my bed because so my husband and I, we went and got a juicer and I did the natural like ginger, lemon, and green apples. And it was like a miracle. I've been up. I was able to cook dinner, able to do all the mom things. I'm doing my nails right now.
yeah.
I've literally been bed bounded for the whole week and a half. Like it's been so bad.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Like if I was like throwing up, it's been one and done. I can't stand to vomit. It would have been.
Oh, your life would be so different, wouldn't it? Oh man.
God didn't know what he was doing when he didn't give me morning sickness. We'll just keep him having more babies.
There you go. Give them all these boys.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me when I was pregnant with Ben. Oh my gosh, I had like the easiest pregnancy ever. I had a few food aversions, but other than that, it was not bad at all. And then this time around, it's like up until when I hit my 20.5 week mark, I was freaking miserable. Like the whole time I had horrible nausea. I lost like 10 pounds because I couldn't keep anything down. I was puking everything up and then trying to take care of Ben and go to work. And I'm like, just kill me now.
Oh,
Just
I'm
put
sure
me out of my misery.
being a single mom. Oh,
And then once I hit that 20.5 week mark, it changed like night and day and I feel fine. Like, but now she's growing and it's like, oh my gosh, like I can barely zip my winter jacket and it's like, but now I can't complain because it's fine. I feel fine.
Yeah, I was like just thinking about it the other day because I worked when I was pregnant with both my boys, and I was like, how did I do this and work at the same time with like how I've been feeling, like, how did I not like throw up all the time? It's just crazy how different, like even though they're the same gender, it's crazy how different pregnancies are.
yeah.
They always sit there and tell you, oh, well, maybe you're having a girl or maybe you're having a boy. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. They're all the same.
Okay.
Okay, we better.
Hour.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having
Hopefully we'll all be feeling better by, well, not all. You 3 will be feeling fantastic. There's nothing happening here.
We're done. Quick.
Yeah. Done. All right. See you guys. Thanks for hopping on.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.